You see, when Miss on a Mission started, when I created Miss on a Missions, I wanted to talk about topics that might have been termed rather a taboo. I wanted to talk about things that I had been struggling with. I wanted to be the source of information that I have been looking for. I wanted to talk about those topics that are cringe, but they are affecting people outside here. I wanted to inspire, I wanted to entertain if possible. I wanted to empower, I wanted to motivate, I wanted to inspire, I wanted to educate, and I wanted to encourage people, to give people hope. I wanted people to see that they were not the only people who were going through whatever they were going through. I wanted to make people understand that whatever was personal to them was not personal but rather universal. I wanted to be a source of strength for somebody out there. And today I'm going to be filming one of those videos. And you're going to excuse my voice because I have the worst of flus. I cannot shout beyond here. I literally feel so bad when I'm talking, so I have ginger water, ginger infused water. Yuck. I know my lipstick is popping. Today I didn't apply a brown shade. I didn't want to make it ombre. So it's good to pop once in a while. Today I want to talk about how my relationship with my sister has impacted my female friendships entirely. If you listened to the video I did with her on sibling tag, we said that we were separated as kids and we reconnected again as we were just transitioning from our teenhood to early adulthood. We literally reconnected only shortly for a short time in the onset of our 20s. And we didn't stay with each other for so long until we moved and separated again. And that meant we were going to start building our relationship. We were getting to know each other from scratch as adults. For the longest time, I have struggled, and I'm sure she's also struggled. I wish you could be here so that we can have this conversation together. We have both struggled, but I want to speak about my own part. Our relationship has always been estranged. It has always hung by a thread. Yesterday, I filmed something short about our relationship and put it on my TikTok page. And one of my followers was telling me that our separation is the cause of whatever we have right now. She was like, her parents were separated as young kids and up to date. They don't get along with each other. When we reconnected and we couldn't get along, I always thought I was the problem because my sister is the free-spirited one, is a very quiet person. She's the type that if you wrong her right now, in the next 20-30 seconds she's okay. And she's the type of person who does not talk about things, and especially the hardest of conversations, the uncomfortable conversations, she doesn't talk about. And no matter how much you try to poke her in order for her to get to a point whereby she's really fixed to the wall and she just lets things out, she's not gonna talk. She's that kind of a person. On the other hand, I am very vocal. When I'm not comfortable, I make sure I let it out. I'm the type that I don't have a problem having those hard conversations. The kind of conversations that make you expose your weak points, expose your weakness. It's like you're taking your internal self and you're putting it bare to people. I don't have a problem having such conversations, and it's only because I am so invested in becoming better, in mastering myself, I've discovered myself. I'm continuing to discover myself. I am working towards a better version of me, and a better version of me so that I, not only for me, but also to know how to live a better, happy, and a mutually respectful life with others. I want to know how to love people better, because if I love the way I think love is supposed to look like, I might not really do it correctly, because my way of loving is not the way somebody else wants to be loved. So in short, I am in continual process of developing and improving myself. And so having such kind of conversations, it's not really a problem. It might be uncomfortable, really. It might be anxious, but then I don't have a problem at all talking about such. And having to work with someone like my sister who No matter how much you try to talk to them, they're not gonna talk. No matter what you do to them, they don't verbalize it. They just, maybe they get to a point of frustration, like to the extreme point of frustration, and they end up saying things out of anger, out of provocation. You're not comfortable when someone has really pushed you to the wall, and you end up saying things that you don't even mean. My sister is not the type to even vent. My sister also is the type that is really vocal when it comes to showering me with I love yous. She's gonna say it any day, anytime that she gets a chance. On the other side, I'm not really confident. I say it back, but I don't say it out of what I'm feeling. I say it back not to hurt her feelings. And I said this in my video that I did with the host of Bold and Brave podcast. And someone is already thinking, you must be really evil. Let me tell you why I don't feel that towards my sister. Of course, not always. It's because my sister shows me a very conflicting, contradicting actions. So you cannot say you love someone and the way you're acting or the things that you're saying, the words that you're saying after that are very contradicting. They don't showcase love towards that person. If I say I love you, it means my actions they are going to match my words. The way I act, it's enough to make me know that you love me. But my sister, she says I love you, but the things she does and the words she says right after I love you are questionable. I'm not judging because she has a side of a story that I don't know, that we've not yet had. And being the kind of person that I am, I'm not gonna be very fast to say that she's an evil sister, she hates me. Maybe she does, but until she says it, until she tells me how she feels about me, I'm not the one who is going to be labeling her outside here that she hates me. And no matter how much maybe her actions prove that she hates me, I'm not gonna judge her yet. And what has this relationship done to me? What has it changed? How has it impacted my entire life when it comes to my relation to other females? I'm gonna be very real right now. In case, by the way, you don't know, I might appear as a social bunny, but I'm an INFJ. Most of the creatives, by the way, they are introverted. And the thing is, I've not been able to have a very stable relationship with females. I can literally count the number of friends I've had since I was born. I had one in school together back in primary school. I was a very quiet kid. I was a closed kid. I was very quiet. I was a very serious kid, very focused. Even now I get that a lot, that you're such a serious person. You're so focused. You're so serious with life. And right after class 8, we just lost touch again. Of course, we communicated right after the results were out and we just lost touch. I made another friend who is now a celebrity, by the way. You know, you have so many friends, but there's that one friend that you're so close to. And so we reconnected again because we found out that she was schooling in Embu and I was schooling in Meru. So we traveled together. We happened that one day we traveled together. And so we created a bond and we were the only ones that schooled together, that we could see each other, we could meet and we could visit each other at our homes, in our homes. Our parents came to know each other. We became family. And in Form 2, she was transferred from Embu to a school in Nairobi, a day school. And so it meant that I could only meet her when schools were closed. And sure, the relationship really lasted. It was a good one. And after high school, we were trying to find our bearing in life. What did you want to become? Did you want to go to uni? And she decided she was not going to go to uni. And somehow the relationship, because again we were kids, she felt that uni was a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of time, and a waste of your mind. But that's not what I felt. And you see, again, when you don't have the power to make the rules in your life, you have no option. Your voice is suppressed. you don't have a voice. Because if my parent is paying for my school fees and you're telling me that I'm not supposed to go to uni, what am I going to tell? What am I supposed to tell them? How am I supposed to convince them that I don't want to go to uni? And coming from a household with a strict parent, with a very tough parent, with an academic oriented parent, you cannot convince them that uni is a waste of money, it's a waste of time, money that you're not contributing to. So my friend started doing her thing, and now she's a celebrity, by the way, right now, and we're no longer in touch. So I want to show you the patterns that I've heard in my female friendships. In social situations, I'm very social. I don't have a problem with that. I'm very bold, and I'm not just self-praising because, oh, it's me. Mm-mm. So in church, I had already made connections, and so surrounding myself with such people, it meant I couldn't share my visions. I couldn't share my dreams because they will never understand. They will never think that it's possible to start with. So we could just have, and of course I had my boundaries. I didn't know how to define them clearly, but I could say, I could just brush that off and be like, for me, I want to go to uni. I want to, there is a way, even when you don't have the wisdom and the knowledge of doing things, there is a way you're still going to do those things. And back in high school, I made a friend right from week 2. We got to school, Form 1, and there's this babe, we got along so well. We even became family. For 10 good years, we have been friends until last year, whereby we broke up. And so I'm trying to show you a pattern. Like, for me, no matter how long it stays, it's gonna end, apparently. That is when it comes to my female friendships. And when my relationship ended with my high school bestie, that was my wake-up call. There needs to be an equal effort from both sides. We need to both talk about those hard conversations. We need to fix that problem, both of us, and we need to find a possible solution, the possible solution to that problem, both of us. But if you're only calling and then you are told, no, you're seeing your own things, you're just overthinking, you are becoming insecure, that means if you keep hearing it so much, at some point, you begin to question yourself. You begin to question yourself about what they just said about you. I could be insecure. Am I changing into an insecure person? Am I seeing my own things? Someone is gaslighting you, and because they're doing it so often, and I'm not saying my friend was a gaslighter, but I'm just saying that someone is gaslighting you, and so you end up believing that something is wrong with you. So that was my wake-up call. That was my aha moment in regards to female friendships. And I took a step back and I decided I was not going to get into another relationship with any she until I healed that part of me that didn't get it right with females. I was not entirely the problem, but because I was the only constant in this entire journey, in all these relationships, it meant that I had something unhealthy in me that kept on attracting such kind of people. They just leave me questioning, and there is no time to have closure. So here are my findings when I took the time of prayer alone will not be the solution to this problem. And it's like I never get things right with females. When I look at the friends that I have had and how I acted and what we did and how things went, I clung so much to those people, to these people, because I thought they could replace the place that I can't have with my sister. They could become the sister I've not been able to have. I have been looking for my sister in my female friendships, and taking a radical responsibility and accountability and acceptance that I have been in search of my sister in other people, and yet I had not dealt with my problems with my sister, was the most humbling thing in my life. And healing is a very humbling process. Healing will humble you. Learning about yourself will humble you so many times. I have been looking for my sister in these other babes, and that is where I lost myself. That's where I lost it, because I was not a healthy me in those relationships. And although it hurts that someone would let me go instead of them talking things out with me, it hurts so much. And especially when you've invested, our souls are tied. We have soul ties with our friends, my people. If you don't know that, soul ties are not only acquired when you have sex with someone. Romantic relationships, they happen even with the people that we interact with. Because the minute you are getting closer in any way to someone, it means part of your souls are connected, and part of you goes with them. That's why you say, oh, she's my friend, she's my best friend, she's my twinnie, she's all those things. It's because your souls are tied. I actually discovered that I have a sister wound, and that's what I have been suffering from in my female friendships. And also, the failure of my female friendships has taught me that I should never let them have the first place in my life. Because when I love, that's what I used to do. And so learning that I can be securely attached, but also be in the knowing that they can also go, and go for good, and go without explaining anything to me, is very possible. And no, I'm not just sitting waiting for that part to come, that bad day to come. That's not what I'm doing. But now I'm becoming secure in the type of people that I call my she besties. But now I have just left everything on God's hands. Of course, just like you pray for your kids that you don't have yet, just like you pray for your spouse that you don't have yet, but you don't make that the center of your prayer. Your prayer does not revolve around, God, I need a friend. This is the type of friend I want. Please, God, give me a friend. It doesn't. I have a babe that we are doing so good. The pace is very slow, and I think it's for a purpose, it's for a reason. And I feel like, I know nobody's perfect, but she's one of the healthiest babe I have met so far. And maybe I'm saying this, maybe again I am blindfolded. I think I've healed, but then I haven't. And one thing I appreciate about her is that when I mention to her, we are able to have that hard conversation. And so right now I am not actively recruiting. I know maybe there's someone out there who looks at me and thinks she could be my best friend, she could make a very good friend, she's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna say this, I just want to interact with people freely, without the limitation of I want to pick this one, I want to pull this one aside and make her my own best friend. I'm not in that space right now. I want to deal with my demons slowly by slowly, and when I'm ready, they are gonna come to my life. They're gonna bring themselves into my life. This entire thing has made me realize that sometimes we think people are dealing with toxic partners, people are dealing with mommy daddy wounds, but let me tell you, people are also dealing with siblings wounds, people are dealing with sister brother wounds, people are dealing with best friend wounds, people are dealing with tenant wounds, you name it. But there's so many things that we do not see because we've hung on one specific general thing that is spoken about all the time, and we think that is all there is. For my sister, the only thing I have remained to do for her is pray for her, because I cannot drag her to a therapy room, I cannot force her to be a certain way. And this entire time I also realized that because I wanted to have a sibling so much, I was somewhat controlling, because there is a way I want her to act. Can't you see I love you and I want you in my life? Can't you see? Please see me, pick me. I was a pick me shout with my sister, and I am healing. I am healing so that I could heal somebody else. I have always wanted to talk about my relationship with my sister, and this is not the way I thought I would be talking about it. Every day is a learning day. And this healing journey is not linear. One day you think, I am ready to face the world. I am ready to slay the days. And then you're met with something and it crushes you absolutely so bad. It sends you to the lowest part that you thought you had healed, that you thought you had come from, that you thought you had risen up from. And you even start questioning yourself, have I healed? Am I doing anything? Yeah, so that is healing. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that don't give up on healing. Don't give up on yourself. Each and every day, work towards becoming better. It doesn't matter whether it's 10%, it's 0.012%, or it's 50%, but work towards bettering you every single day. At least if you want me to be your friend. Unapologetically, I'm not ready. That's it for today, guys. Until the next one, go out to be the best versions of yourselves that you've always wanted to be, and I'll see you in the next one.